Staging, fake debates is fun and easy, and that would be the easy part. The hard part was then, well, who selects? Who then chooses and votes who the candidate's going to be? The problem there is a lot of people say, oh, just let the people at the convention do it. The people at the convention are hand-picked Biden-Harris delegates. These are not neutral Democratic primary voters. If you've been selected to go to Chicago for this convention, you've been selected because you're going to pick Harris.
Welcome to The Debrief, where we talk with the Washington Examiner's top journalists about the headlines they're covering and where the story's going next. I'm Sarah Bedford, and I'm here with Commentary Editor Conn Carroll. Conn, there's been lots of comparisons made, including by myself, between what happened to Donald Trump in 2016 in the aftermath of the Access Hollywood tape and what's happening right now in 2024 with some Democrats starting to encourage Joe Biden to drop out of the race. But you wrote in an actually interesting piece that, not to imply that your other ones aren't interesting.
No, not at all.
I really liked this one. That actually there's a lot of fundamental differences between the situation in 2016 and now. Talk about that.
Sure. So when you look at Trump's run in 2016, you had a Washington, D.C. elite that despised him. They thought he was a buffoon, just a crass character, and they wanted him out. But they knew who he was, like that who Donald Trump was. But then you had a base who was like, oh no, we like the fact that he's a buffoon. We like the fact that he makes you uncomfortable. And then Trump went out and won a bunch of primaries, being the exact authentic person he was. And so when you had the Access Hollywood came out, you had the elite saying, oh look, we were right all along. He's exactly who said they were. The primaries were like, yeah, no, we know. The difference between that and Biden is that Biden, from the beginning, the problem was he was hiding who he was, right? He's become older, more fragile, just not mentally all there. And the elites in D.C. knew it, but they're trying to cover it up, specifically from the primary voters. The voters themselves have been saying for over a year now that Biden is too old. The number's gone up from like 60% to now it's like, and this is among Democrats, like 70% of Democrats, like, this guy's too old, we need a new candidate. And so with the debate, all that pretense fell apart for both voters and the elites. And so the elites were then forced to admit that, look, okay, we've been lying to you all along, this guy is not competent. And so that's the dilemma the Democrats are now, is that the elites have been telling a lie to the people for months, years. It's now been exposed, as opposed to before the Republicans with Trump were like, look, we're trying to tell you, and the voters are like, yeah, no, we get it, we know who he is, that's our guy.
Noted political expert George Clooney has come out and said, it's so easy, just pop Joe Biden right out, go to the candidate store, pick out a new nominee, and we'll win. Is it really that easy, or are there kind of insurmountable obstacles?
There are insurmountable obstacles. I see people write these, fantasy posts with like, oh, the Democrats could have a series of debates with 6 candidates.
Everyone's nice, no one attacks each other.
Right, and Taylor Swift can host.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Staging, fake debates is fun and easy, and that would be the easy part. The hard part was then, well, who selects? Who then chooses and votes who the candidate's going to be? The problem there is a lot of people say, oh, just let the people at the convention do it. The people at the convention are hand-picked Biden-Harris delegates. These are not neutral Democratic primary voters. If you've been selected to go to Chicago for this convention, you've been selected because you're going to pick Harris, right? So there is no forum for them to go ahead and vote as Democratic primaries and choose a new candidate. It's Kamala or bust. That's the real issue here. And Democrats need to come to terms with that as they talk about Biden stepping aside.
What do you make of the arguments for keeping Joe Biden? We've obviously heard a ton of the arguments against keeping him there, but you hear the arguments for keeping Joe Biden is that it's just the elites who want him out, and also my personal favorite, it's a group project presidency, so everything is fine. Do you think those are compelling to voters, or do you think that actually kind of cuts at the heart of this idea that they're the defenders of democracy and the sanctity of the presidency?
Right. I mean, it does really point to the fact that, how just undemocratic this is, in that you have a Democratic Party that shut down and cleared the primary schedule for Biden, so he didn't have any real opposition. No offense to Dean Phillips, but there's no one ran, and so Democratic primary voters have had no voice in this, and the Democratic argument is now, look, we're just a brand, we're just a team, vote against Trump, and then trust us to install whoever is going to be in there afterwards. And I think that's going to be a big problem for a party who allegedly says that democracy is on the ballot. to just say, go ahead and trust us. We're going to install a new government which we are afraid to let you people actually vote on.
And finally, if do you really believe this idea that Donald Trump is now cruising to an easy victory, or do you think it's going to be harder than it looks right now? Because right now it looks like Donald Trump is heading towards landslide territory.
I don't know. You know, I was wrong in 2016 about Trump. I was wrong in 2020. So I'm just gonna see where it takes us.
Learn my lesson here.
Learn my lesson.
Well, Conn, thank you so much for being here today. You can get more to writing from Conn and the rest of the commentary team at washingtonexaminer.com.